Hello everyone's. I am here for my review of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 3, The Reunion Part 2. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted reality shows, and also do reactions. If you're returning, one of my peoples, welcome back. So I have two comments from last week's video, and they are both from Queen Scarlet Pimp Sunkiss. Hey boo, you would have thought I would have got your name together correctly by now. The first one is, child, ain't that something? Why is the Salt Lake City franchise that having schoolgirl bus fights? That's a mess. I'm like, yeah, y'all are grown. Like, grown. Like, y'all in y'all like 40s, pushing on 50s. I'm going to assume maybe not so much with her name Whitney, but like we too grown to be fighting on buses and doing all these things. We just are. They just are. And another one from Queen Scarlet Pimp Sunkiss. Hey boo, criminalistic is a word. I don't think you used it the right way, but it's a word. Thank you, boo. I thought it was just one of those words that I made up. It did. So let's look into what criminalistic is. I did earlier, but then I forgot. So I ain't out here saying the wrong thing. Somebody like, that's not what it means. But thank you for clarifying it. But don't it sound like it is a word that shouldn't be a word? Like, it's not a word, but when you make it up, it would define what Jen was doing. The correct termination or meaning is, in a forensic science, criminalistic can be defined as the application of scientific methods to the recognition, collection, identification, and comparison of physical evidence generated by criminal or illegal activity, civil activity. I guess that is criminalistic, because she was doing some criminal activities. So I was like, kind of, sort of, I'm gonna say I was like, I get half credit for that. But yeah, that's what criminalistic means. Now y'all, let's go ahead and get into this review. When I tell you I'm so over the season and nothing, it was like a lot of hypocrisy going on here too, and I was like, I wanted to do this video earlier, but thank goodness I had a work meeting, so I was like, yay, I don't have to do it. But then it was like, oh, the meeting's over, I gotta do it, because you know this is the last. Thank goodness it's only 2 episodes, so we got to start off with educate. You know, word on the street is that Heather and Jen be getting it on sometimes, and is that the reason why Heather ended up with this black eye? They was in there getting it on, and then Jen got mad for whatever reason and just bought Heather and I. We still don't know how she got this black eye, because she said she was blacked out and all this other things. But I'm not saying that Heather and Jen have gotten it on in the past, but that would explain why Heather allows Jen to treat her any old type of way. It really does. It's like the other girls do it, but like it seems like Heather goes out of her way to defend Jen when Jen has been a complete and horrible human being towards her. But Heather says that she felt embarrassed and ashamed, and that somewhat she felt like she deserved, you know, getting a black eye because she got blackout drunk, and maybe if she did just came home and went to bed instead of drinking some more, then maybe, you know, she wouldn't have ended up with this black eye. I still want to know what happened. I need to know. I need to see footage. Like, okay, when was the last time we seen Heather when her eye was normal, and then when it was black? Who was the last person with her? I would like to know these questions, and I don't know why we didn't reach further too much in it. I guess she was like still like not knowing what happened and feeling ashamed, because you know they was taught to like drinking is bad, and they be watering down the drinks in Salt Lake City, which I still think it is so funny that they're always talking about, in the Mormon religion, we do A, B, C, and D. We can't do A, B, C, and D, but then they turn around and do A, B, C, and D. But yeah. Then we got to talk about this whole rumor about what Lisa be doing to get her businesses out there, and to be getting concert tickets and, you know, basketball game tickets to go out of town, you know, tickets to the circus, like all the things. And Heather says the first time she heard a rumor about Lisa was from Whitney when they was in Arizona. And y'all, Whitney, she has a tendency to try to explain herself and get her point across while she's drunk. And then when you're sitting up there trying to decipher exactly what she's saying while she's drunk, she gets mad at you that you not understand what she's saying, and then gets frustrated like it's our fault. Like, man, stop trying to tell us stuff when you're drunk, because you can't get it across and I can't get across to what you're saying. And I didn't care too much. They was jumping on Heather like Jen be treating you trash up, down, left, and right, and you keep on wanting to be friends with her. I was like, not that it excuses Jen's horrible behavior towards everybody. Jen treats everybody the same way. It's just that it seems like Heather and a little bit of Lisa, but not all the time, is always trying to coddle Jen after she's been made a complete donkey of herself and treated you in your type of way. But I was like, Jen is a horrible person to just about everybody. Heather is not the only one she's been horrible to. It's not. Then they talk about Jen, her going to jail, her being charged and all the crimes and everything. But if you ask me, I don't think the ladies would have so much to say if they weren't on TV. They wouldn't give their opinion one way or another. Had it just like, these are just homegirls or acquaintances, and they found out that Jen, was out here stealing from the elderly people and the vulnerable people, and they wasn't on TV, I don't think they would have, they wouldn't have an opinion. They wouldn't be speaking their mind. But since they're on TV, they got to be like, oh, that was horrible. Which it completely and utterly was horrible what Jen was doing. And another thing we found, let me finish that. They wouldn't be so looking at Heather and Meredith like, how dare you still want to be friends with Jen? Like, we're since we're on TV, we're going to let our stance know she was horrible for what she did. And it's not that I don't think that Heather and Meredith don't believe what you did is horrible. It's just that, she's still our friend, and what you did was completely and utterly wrong, and what you did, we just not going to just kick you off to the side. And Meredith made a statement at Bravo Con or whatever function it had to do with Bravo, the day that Andy had announced that they were bringing a Salt Lake City show to Bravo. And I guess they was gonna, I don't know if it was like the day he announced the show, had they already started filming, I don't know. But that is the exact same day that like they started the process of taking Jen down. They had already been collecting evidence for years, but now it's like, bam, we done sign, seal, deliver, and now the next step is to take her down type of situation. Whitney says that, she kind of looking side-eye at Sharif, because Sharif is a good guy, but like, he's too good of a guy. And did he know what Jen was doing? And I was like, or did he have something to do with it? And this is just my thinking. How is it that what your wife is explaining that she does and the income she's bringing in, you have never questioned it? Is this not adding up? Because I know what my husband does for a living, and I know how much money he brings home. So with his particular job, and one day he come home and he's like, okay, I just buy myself a Bentley, and I know that his job does not pay for him to have a Bentley. Or, hey babe, I just got us 2 first class tickets to Dubai, and we staying at the most luxurious hotel, and after we go to Dubai, we're gonna go to Maui, and we just gonna spend 3 months traveling. I'm going to know. And it's like, it's not like, okay, some stocks that I didn't know I had, that I forgot I had, I looked into them and they was worth billions of dollars or something like that. He just like, oh yes, because my job. I'm gonna be like, something ain't right. So it may seem like Coach may have known what Jen was doing, but he didn't, he wasn't in the operations of what was going on. I could see that, because like when Jen was trying to explain what she was doing, I was like, huh? That don't really make no sense to me. But I don't live with Jen, so I don't know what they had going on. And it seemed like, is just me, or it seemed like Jen and Coach Shaw, they was together for the show. Like they had been broke up, but like we gotta act like we together for real, for real. Yeah, so y'all, that was basically the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It is free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure notifications are on so my beautiful Facebook's video. You can click on it, you can like it, and share it to people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you're already one of my peoples, oh, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.